So I get calls like this all the time from new tenants. Sometimes it's because the carpets are still dirty and stained, or in this case, they just smell like wet dog. Now, I know I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but as soon as I walked in, I could smell it. It was one of the worst dog odor issues I've experienced, like a wet dog. One word to describe it was pungent. I would even go as far to say you would probably die if you locked yourself up in one of these rooms. But that's just my opinion, of course, which I'm not supposed to give. So, backstory, the customer called me on Sunday and I came to clean on Monday. But apparently the carpets were cleaned on Friday, so that's just what, 3 days ago? All I can say, there are at least three parties at fault here. The previous tenants, could they not smell it? Do they not have a nose? Wait, it's 2024. I take that back. I know I can't ask people those kind of questions anymore. But in all seriousness, if the dogs are on the carpet, then they need to be vacuumed, they need to be professionally cleaned more, or at least close the doors, put the dogs in outside jail. I don't know, something. Now, I know I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but hear me out. The property manager, they need to take some responsibility here. How did it get to this point? Was there no inspections? The carpet shouldn't be getting that bad even after a clean, like they still smell. But that's just my opinion, of course, which I'm not supposed to give. But in the property manager's defense, the tenants could have just covered up really well with like air fresheners or even hiding the dog. There's a lot tenants can do to cover things up. Thirdly, the previous carpet cleaner could be at fault here. Now, as most carpet cleaners would know, pet odor is a complex job because of so many variables. And if you're a cleaner watching, I'll give you some free tips in this video. Stick around. Now, I don't know the full story and the condition before the previous cleaners arrive, obviously. I can only come up with a few scenarios. I mean, the carpets could have been totally trashed and not savable, and it's even a miracle they got it to this point. I don't know. While that is possible, I don't think so, because I noticed some urine on the surface of the carpet with my UV light. Even some easy to remove stains were still there. So, most likely scenario, they've probably come in with like a small portable carpet cleaning machine, probably something like this. Probably use the wrong chemical or just a generic one they use on every job with a strong perfume to just cover up the odor for the day. And then not even done a proper flush and extraction of the carpets, most likely leaving the carpets wet and even pushing the dirt deeper into the carpets. That's pretty common. And even if they didn't do a thorough extraction, all the leftover chemical and soil just wicks back up to the surface as it dries. Then the property probably was locked up for a couple of days with no airflow, so all the dirt, dog dander, just came back to the surface as it dried. Here's a quick tip. So the carpet should have aired out properly to dry before getting locked up, and that's not always possible when keys are getting handed over and tenants moving in and out. So another option would be to leave the bedroom doors open, put the ceiling fans on, and putting the AC onto dry mode. That's going to at least help remove some of the moisture. Otherwise, if you're just closing up the doors, where's that moisture going to go? It's not going to dry. So here's my process. First, I start with a very thorough inspection. It's hard to show on camera, but I use the UV light to find any pet accidents. They basically just glow under the light. Now, with urine, it never actually completely dries out, and that's because it leaves behind urine salts, and that holds moisture. That's why you notice on a humid day, it actually starts to smell more. So you'll see me walking around with a moisture sensor to confirm there's anything in the padding, and yep, we found a lot of accidents. This property, every single room had accidents. Two of the rooms were very severe, and my recommendation would actually be replacement. At least if this was my house, my property, I would 100% be replacing at least two of those rooms of carpet because there's no way to completely remove it. And here's the thing, if people try cleaning it themselves with like your do-it-yourself cleaners or even using an inexperienced carpet cleaner, it's just adding more moisture, just pushing it further into the carpet and spreading it around. At that point, the damage is done, and it's usually just cheaper to replace the carpet. Now we do a very thorough pre-vacuum to remove as much dog dander and hair as possible. The customer already pre-vacuumed before I arrived, but it's very important with pet odor issues to do a very thorough dry vacuum. We really don't want to be adding any more moisture to this. While I'm doing this clean, I'm deciding what kind of pre-treatment to use. So the main concern here was the wet dog smell. There wasn't a huge deal of hair in this carpet, but definitely we removed some dog dander and other dust and whatever we can see here. We're going to use our regular pre-treatment and then add in some liquid citrus solvent to help clean the dog body oils. I'm going to use some Unchained for the urine treatment. That's going to help kill any of the odor-causing bacteria. And the rinse, I'm using the Black Label rinse. That's going to really help knock out any odor issues and dog body oils. I remember from the inspection that this spot had a lot of urine. I applied more treatment here, pushing it into the padding. You can see the treatment actually oxidizing on contact. Currently, I'm only doing a surface level treatment, but if I was to saturate this whole area here, the whole area would actually just foam up. If you're a carpet cleaner watching this, I'm currently using this brand of chemicals because I know they're safe and they work really great, but they're also really hard to get in Australia. If you're in Australia, I also recommend the AccuChem products. No issues with them, they work pretty great. Also the Sega's products, they work great too, if you can get your hands on that. I actually used a post-treatment of one of their deodorizers after this job. So the next step here is going to be to use a CRB machine. It's basically two motorized brush rolls kind of spinning opposite from each other, basically scrubbing the chemical deep into the carpet and bringing everything to the surface. It's also going to separate the dirt, getting it ready for extraction. It's hard to show on video, but the carpet's actually really brightening up over here. This is the truck mat machine. It's run by a 31 horsepower engine, and that's a lot of power. This is going to boil the water to over 100 degrees, and that hooks up to the wand and is going to inject the rinsing solution into the carpet and then basically extracts it back out. And because this machine's so powerful, it's using proper hot steamy water, which is obviously going to clean a lot better and give your carpets a really good flush. With a proper petrol powered vacuum, it's insane how strong this thing is. So we're able to get deeper extraction, leaving the carpets cleaner and drier. It's hard to show in the video, but I can see all the dirty water actually coming up through the wand, like in that little sight tube at the bottom there. There's a lot of dirt in this carpet. Now, don't get me wrong, you can do a decent job with a portable machine if you really take your time with it, but this job really needs the power of a truck mount. But that's just my opinion, of course, which I'm not supposed to give. And I don't want to criticize other businesses and their equipment. Like, I respect what others are doing. It's all about good karma. And I know some of these guys, they do fantastic work, but it's just important to understand the equipment's limitations. But I also want to highlight the quality of my work, obviously. I do have a business, so I'm trying to show what I do. So now I'm speeding up the drying process with some fans. A quick tip is to add a deodorizing block to the fans. That really helps freshen up the room, because now a lot of that odor is actually gone into the structure of the house, all the walls. So now we're just going to have to clean all the walls, air it out. It's going to be just take a bit of time now just to get the odor out of the house. And here's the dirty water dump. So you tell me, what do you guys think? Were these carpets professionally cleaned 3 days ago? Let me know.
Yeah, that was clean just on Friday, and what is it, Monday today? So